Hey, good afternoon. It's Keith. What is it? September 16th, coming to you from Birmingham, Alabama area. I'd like to welcome my four compadres here and joining us. Well, now five, we got Nelson. So that's great. And this is our weekly Peace Commercial Crowd Zoom. It's whatever any of us want to make it out to be. I had a great time in Nashville, Tennessee last Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Whenever we do it in Nashville, my co-host Paul Zorich, he's with the EXP Commercial. He likes to put on a wonderful event the night before our IRL. That's all day for our speakers and some of our sponsors, for our major sponsors. And this time, without a doubt, it was a great event again. I'm just talking about the night before. I hadn't even talked about the IRL, but it was great food. Paul, thank you. I know you're going to see this later. Thank you very much. And I know from the people who were there, they all thank you again. His wife is a gourmet cook. His daughter's a gourmet cook. His son-in-law's a gourmet cook. All Italian foods. Paul knows his Italian wines. We always have a grand time. It's pretty awesome. And I'm saying all this to say that those of you out there in the future who decide that IRLs might be a good thing to do in your part of the country, and you might want to start hosting or making it happen, it's probably a good idea. I know that Michelle Polly, she started doing this 2 years ago for us in Scottsdale. Went there out there with her. Maybe it's been 3 years. No, maybe it's two. I don't know. And she's been doing it every so often out there. It's worked out pretty good. But let's talk about IRL Friday, September 13th, Nashville, Tennessee. It was really great. There's multiple reasons, but I got to tell you, a couple of our speakers were there, and they will see this recording as well because they're on the list. Sean Murphy and Lindy McNeese. Now, most of us know Lindy McNeese because she was there before I moved my license over to help start the company. She was there when Jim moved to start the company almost 4 years ago. Well, actually, it's been 4 years since Jim moved over there. We just became official with licensees in November. That's coming up in our month and a half. Rich was there in the beginning. We didn't have California on yet, but Rich was there. And there were others that were there too. But Lindy's an awesome lady. She's now our director of commercial growth. And then Sean Murphy came over from the executive side of Realty because he was doing the senior VP of growth for Realty. He's been on these Monday Zooms with us recently, so you know him. But this is for the people in the recordings. And he is now our senior VP of EXP commercial growth. So he and Lindy make a great team. But Sean was talking about many changes. Rich, all you guys, Blair, Chris, you got Max was there Friday. Dan wasn't. You guys will appreciate the movement now is, yes, we have got to be a segregated, strong commercial brokerage from a segregated, strong residential brokerage. They're working on that right now. I understand we're having a brand new director of operations. No, brokerage operations. I'm sorry, director of brokerage operations. I won't say his name yet. Sean, they should be announcing that before EXPCon. He actually announced it at the IRL, but I'll leave it up to him to tell the rest of the world. I don't want to. Because first of all, I forgot his last name. so I can't say his name right now. I'm not even going to tell you where he's coming from. I do know where he's coming from, so that's good. Anyway, that'll be great. So we're gonna be separate, guys. We're gonna be full-fledged moving forward. We've already got the marketing department revamping. You saw you can buy clothes, the latest clothing I got. There's lots more clothes for us in the EXP brand store. You can get pickleball paddles with the EXP commercial on it, whatever. And Sean said he's going to have that there. He's going to have that at EXPCon. So you guys who love pickleball, which I think is crazy, be ready to play pickleball with EXP commercial pickleball paddles at EXPCon if you want to. But the IRL itself, we talked about major changes, what's coming down the pike. Rich, you love it. CoStar's coming on board. They're understanding what's going on. It's going to be part of the tech stack pretty quick, and several others. Max is there. Max, you were at the IRL. Why don't you interject real quick a couple of takeaways while I'm writing down some notes? Can you do that?
Why you put me under pressure?
It's not
I
pressure.
I don't remember right now. Uh, really, the shoot, I thought I took notes, but I did not bring the notes with me. Anyhow, what you said was that we're coming up with a lot of platform basically that is going to satisfy some of these people that are sitting on the side and not joining and thinking, that the only way we can service them is by having co-star and the rest of the platform that the big guys are uh, offering. And some of it, I think, is going to be on a uh, people whether wanting to uh, uh, contribute some of the cost themselves or something that the company is going to be offering, i.e., uh, LoopNet and some other platforms.
Yeah,
Uh,
RealNext is part of it too. Yeah, Max.
yep,
So RealNext will be part of the picture as well.
yep, yep.
And there's a platform coming out where we will not be utilizing SkySlope. Even forgot the name of that. What he said. Do you remember the name of it? I never recognized it, so I wasn't. That's why it didn't stick with me. Chuck, you were there. If you remember, I don't know. Okay. Anything else, Max? I mean, interrupt you there. So
Not really. Yeah, I mean, well, there's a lot of fact that, basically, as usual, we are the only profitable company that is in the market in the commercial sphere, and everybody else is really having to downsize and kind of see if they can borrow money to survive, if you will.
yeah, yep. I just thought of one thing. And I've gone blank already. Just went in and out.
Because we had too much fun.
No, it was something important. Oh yeah, on the agent attraction side or on the growth of our company, there are several changes there as well. Rev share is changing, going to be changing up a little bit more in October. It's going to be pretty interesting. I can tell you, the real big piece, guys. We had Melissa Jackson on here a few months ago.
Oh
She's
yeah,
representing our retail committee piece of EXP commercial. She's got a lot of systems in place and training in place for people who want to get involved with the retail side within EXP commercial. I'm telling you, you need to hook up with her. It's tremendous. Just that hour she was there, Chuck and Max, they can add to it. The input she put out there, she started the day off for us. And I know she'll see this video as well. So maybe we can have her back on this in the future when she gets a chance to slow down. And so anything else, Max?
yeah. I think she is very impressive. I mean, when the minute that she started talking till the end of her uh, presentation,
Yeah, I had to cut her off like I've been doing
yeah,
all the
really,
time, right?
I mean, everybody was very, very kind of engrossed with what she's saying, and everybody was ears. The main thing that I am a believer of her that she's got some systems set up that can go in and basically work with a developer or rather developers altogether in one particular area of town. And she would have two or three potential tenants for each bay that would be developed out there and basically go in and set the whole thing. Yeah, she's one of those people. It's not that, you go ahead, build it, and then wait for the tenant to come in and put signs and everything. Right before the groundbreaking, she would have up to 75% of the future tenants already signed up. And there's like, she would have redundant number of those people and make a presentation to the developer, to the investor to everybody. And also, she can go into some markets that she sees somebody is not successful with the concept that they have, and do the analysis for them and points to them, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4 of the things that can be changed or repositioned and make a success of it. And she has many example of it that
Yeah.
she's offering her, I think it's called the Commercial CRE 101, that basically offering to anybody that is interested in joining. But as the former policy and procedures manual advocate, in the past when I was in the restaurant business, that was the only thing. I'd go in first and learn all of the items in the policy and procedures manual, operations policy and procedure manual. And the places that I worked, if everybody would do up to about 75, 80% of what that doggone book says it, you're going to be able to succeed. There's no failure in those particular ventures and those restaurants that we had. And she is the one that, you know, she also goes by the same process and look at everything and would point out, you know, don't blame the location, don't blame the brand, blame whoever is running that particular operation, or, you know, uh, restaurant that she is pointed out to and analyzing, and forcing that person to either stay on board or get somebody else that is willing to do the job and basically make a go of that particular venture.
I'll add to that piece. Now, it's not all about her. She's looking for us in our
Yep.
marketplaces that are interested in the retail and doing what she does. And she will bring you into the systems and teach you, and you go through training and stuff, and you'll be part of that group, that retail group. And it's highly beneficial. That's for those of you who want, you're all about this. But the idea of getting with developers in the marketplace who are thinking about doing this, this, and this, it's true. She has the databases. She came from Cushman Wakefield, and where was she other place she
Commercial
was? I forgot.
advisor, commercial advisor, and JLF.
Jail. Okay, she was in all those, and she created the databases with all retailers in the U.S. in subcategories as well. So it's pretty tremendous. It's huge.
I have an appointment with her. Her and I have a meeting on Wednesday. So
All right.
I'm
All right.
sold on it. You know, that's why I just made the appointment.
Anybody have any questions about any of that? Thoughts? Okay, Chuck.
What is everybody wants to talk about? Anything, you know, about
Well, I
anything?
was going to ask Chuck a question, but he turned on his camera, turned off his camera. He might not be there right now. I don't know.
Oh, I see.
I'll wait till he gets back. Oh, there he is.
There he is.
Sorry about that. A call came in.
Yeah, I understand. What I'm doing is I'm briefing the rest of the world about our IRL in Nashville. They kind of missed out on. And is there anything you want to add in terms of what you picked up from a GC perspective with Melissa and her retail stuff? Is there anything there you want to add for our benefits? Or yours?
I think Max covered it pretty well, but I
Okay.
think one of the things that one piece I'd like to take away, and something that I'm going to utilize from her, is she took the time to figure out what the problem was, started building her processes, as Max was talking about, and procedures off of that. And that's drilling down. What's the problem with the location? What's the problem with the need? What's the problem with the developer? You know, what is their problem? Figuring out, drilling it down, and then building from there. A lot of times I think people are reactionary, trying to meet what, without truly understanding. You know, it's basically critical thinking and exploring the issue. So, but that's what I took away from her, is she's very intense. And the second big key point to Max is she wants to share all of this.
Exactly.
And a point of personal privilege, since being there on last Friday, it really hit me, the environment that you all are creating here at EXP Commercial. I've had experiences through my few years now where I've been dealing with some different organizations of real estate, and I have not seen in them a desire, an expression, a commitment to teamwork, communication, and basically kind of a tribe. Everybody is part of EXP Commercial, and you are all here to support each other and for everybody's success. Everybody's going to win, and that's kind of where it seems that most people's heads are. And that was really brought to the forefront when Sean spoke, when Lindy spoke, when Tom spoke, and just the people moving around the room. What you all are building and have built it really struck me this past Friday, and kudos to you. And keep going with your collaboration and your sharing and your building of what you're doing. It's very impressive. Like I said, it finally clicked for me what you all have been creating. It's very awesome. It's nothing my limited experience I've seen before.
Thanks. Yeah, one thing that Keith, I just remembered, but Melissa, she said she developed all of this is from the day one that she got into commercial real estate, is taking notes and then categorizing them for the last 6, 7 years that she's been in there. I don't know how long she's been back, but I have a feeling that she's been in the real estate for a long time, but with the commercial 6 or 7 years. And she just says, we normally take notes, but we don't go refer to the notes most of the time. And what her success is basically going over everything that any speaker or specialist that she went and talked with, they gave her hints here, hints there, and she made a listing of all those things. And in a way, she brought it in as a strategy or a way to success for what she's doing.
Excellent, Mac. Thank you. All right. So another part, Chuck alluded to it. He didn't allude to it. He just outright said it. It was amazing most of the day. In the beginning, we had Chuck and Rick and Superstructure. They were our major sponsor. They spoke, and that was really fabulous too, what they talked about. And I'll get back to that. But we had some lunch after the 3 speakers in the morning, and the afternoon seemed to just take off like a rocket. And it's all about everything EXP Commercial that we are moving into next, and we're doing it now. And it really got down to the idea that EXP World Holdings has all this money coming in from our brokerages that by law, basically, they have it written on a piece of paper that says, I got to give back half of this money to my people. I mean, it's written down. I mean, I'm not off track here. I've been told that multiple times. By law, this has to happen. Glenn wrote it down saying, I will give back half this money because I only need half of it to pay for everything, and this is an agent centric. But let me correct everybody today in EXP Commercial. The verbiage we will now be using is we are advisors. We're advisor centric. We are all advisors. We're not agents. We're not using that term anymore. We're advisors, at least advisors. And so the rest of the afternoon with Tom and with Dan and with Calvin, Daniel Ng, Calvin Wong, they spoke about growing in success. And Lindy and Sean and Tom Truong, that whole afternoon went crazy. There's 16% of us in this company, in both our companies here, that are taking advantage of the program they call Rev Share. That's about the best way they can figure out how to give us back all this money is through revenue share. And they revamped it once here this year, where it's made it even easier to pick up a little bit more money as people are coming on board or as people are producing. But I'm telling you, I think I was, Chuck and Max, out of all the people that were there that I invited or that are associated with me, I know that 7 people in that room are either in the process where they're almost done with getting their license to start with, or they're going to start the process of getting their license pretty quick. They all want to come into this company to do things. And there were 7 of them that told me about, well, actually 5. And one of them told me about, 2 people that is associated with him that wants that he's going to make sure they come in as well. But it was like, I understand it. I almost felt like, man, I should have had all my other prospects there too, just from that afternoon. So why am I saying all this? And why is Chuck saying this? Why is Max saying this? We got another one of these coming up in November. It's going to be in Atlanta. And Sean was there, Lindy was there, and we agreed, yes, let's do a 4-year celebration. We're going to do a celebration every year, Rich, every year. And you'll finally probably be able to come to the 4-year one, won't you? Yeah. And I want to say Rich here is going to be one of our speakers at the November 14th IRL. The celebration is going to be the 13th. So you might as well put this on your calendar now. You sitting here and those that are hearing this recording, you and or both need to be prospects need to be in Atlanta November 13th and 14th. It's stay over the 14th to go home on the 15th, but you need to be there. It's only going to cost you $69 registration unless you're an early bird and you buy it ahead of time. It'll cost you $49. We're going to have a big party at Celebration. Our icons are going to be there, whoever they are this year. I don't even know who all the icons are this year. We're working on that right now. A lot of our leaders of EXP Commercial will be there. We may have a couple of the C-suite of EXP World Holdings. You never know. You don't know who's going to show up until you're there. And it's going to be tremendous. And we already got some great speakers, not just Rich. We got some other great speakers too. So Rich will appreciate having a lot of other people his caliber there. So anyway, I will appreciate that, actually, not Rich. I will appreciate it. So any questions? Oh, you got your hand up, Max. Sorry.
Yeah, one thing that it was a surprise, but all the head honchos, phone numbers are going to be available to all of us. They're going to send, I don't know in what manner they're going to do, but they're going to give it their cell phone number that everybody that wants to reach to anybody, would have the opportunity to reach. And that's a beautiful idea. I'm telling you, just because sometimes I get tired of talking to Keith. I want to go ahead and talk to Sean without any problem.
Okay, so
But
talking
really,
about things that
that's
we're going to get on
amazing.
email. One thing that Sean pointed out on email is they're going to send us an email, guys, and tell us what our the titles they recommend we use, not just advisors, but they're going to base it on productivity and some other things. So you may be a junior advisor, you may be a senior advisor, you may be a senior mentor. I don't know. I forget what all they were saying, but just be on the lookout.
Based on your activities,
Yeah.
you get different title.
Just be prepared. Just start paying attention to any emails you get from EXP Commercial, because they're going to be loaded. There's going to be information in there because Sean is going crazy with getting things happening. So I just want to give you the heads up. Hopefully all of you can make it to EXP Con, because there you'll get to meet our new director of brokerage operations. And hopefully he'll be at the IRL as well in the celebration. But any questions, any thoughts, anybody just trigger anything in your mind about anything? You want to talk about EXP Commercial, how wonderful it's been for you, anything? Because I thought about something for Chuck. Anybody? Okay, that's a long enough pause. All right. So let me tell you, I'll tell you one person who has benefited highly, and I won't tell you anything about it other than it's been tremendous, has been Superstructures. They have benefited tremendously hanging around EXP Commercial for the last couple of years from a business perspective. We're not just talking about from the wonderful people that they get to work with or anything. We're just talking about from a business perspective. But I remember it was last week, right? We were talking about or 2 weeks ago, we were talking about structures, building, the way of building buildings, the building materials, stuff like that, right? Was that last week or was that 2 weeks ago, guys? I don't
It
remember.
was last week.
We were talking about modular and
Yeah.
pre-engineered.
It was in the, different, uh, uh, what do you call it? Different presentation. It was not in your, I'm sorry, in your, program. It was for the,
ADUs that Jim was talking about.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I'm talking about. Yeah, okay. All right. Well, anyway, thank you, Chuck. So Chuck and Rick brought up a point. They are, I guess, moving forward with a major project. I'm not going to tell you where or anything, but Chuck, do you feel like talking about any details about it at all, or the uniqueness of it and the supply chain piece of it and stuff like that? You know what I'm
So I
talking
guess
about?
you're alluding to Guam.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. I'll say Guam since you said Guam.
Um, Thanks, Keith. And it's because of a lot of the EXP professionals that we've gotten this opportunity, and we hope, I think we've been sharing with other EXP, professionals. I'm sorry, advisors now, opportunities for you. So we're committed to you, as I think you were committed to us. But what has led to we have an opportunity in Guam. And if anybody's ever been to Guam, excuse me a second. If anybody's ever been to Guam, it's hotter than the hubs of hell. It's surrounded by salt water. It's got hurricane winds that apparently are happening all the time. And most of the structures are built with concrete. And so it makes and I don't believe there's any EXP advisors commercial advisors in Guam right now. So just a heads up, if any of you are thinking about a market that's untapped right now,
There you go.
nobody there. But it is unique because we've been able to help out an opportunity for a multifamily that's going up there that pretty much everything is done in concrete. It can stand up to seismic loads, it can stand up to wind loads, it can stand up to the heat and to the corrosion, but it can be expensive, especially when you're working with trades, because it's limited in the space it is. These are all things that you as advisors have to take into consideration when you're working with one of your developers, client, whatever the case is, because does the structure, does the facilities exist for what they need? Multifamily, industrial, commercial, whatever the case is. Does the structures exist? Can you help find them those structures? Can you find them that land? And what are the specific criteria that the material, that the what they're going to develop has to meet? So we were able to work with a group in Guam to bring them a kind of a hybrid approach. It's going to have concrete that's going to help support and protect it from seismic loads. Also, it will help reduce the amount of potential for rust and things like that are affected by heat and water. But we're also bringing a pre-engineered, a modular option, so that everything will be constructed off-site in not clean rooms, but in environmentally controlled spaces, so that they don't lose, so you're getting top quality, not going to lose time. And while we're preparing the site, we're also going to be able to move in the modular materials into the country. What that means is we're going to shorten the time of the construction, which means that the advisor working with the developers actually be able to start moving the property in specific apartments or the multifamily space. And so by the time it gets done, it's going to be truncated. So we're going to be bringing in families relatively quickly, which gets the developer to their return on investment much quicker. And so that is one of the ways that we appreciate working with EXP and your clients, because we can offer you a quicker solution, cheaper solution, and a shortened timetable to get your clients to their end goal of making a profitable build, investment, whatever the proper terminology is. So did that kind of answer it for you, Keith, what you were looking for?
Yeah, a little bit on the logistics side, which I thought was pretty fascinating. First of all, Rich, I think this is it 7 floors? The project, multiple buildings, 7 floors, whatever.
Correct.
Yeah. So the logistics piece is you got raw materials, you got materials coming in from the rest of the world, and you're actually utilizing a major structure already there as your manufacturing facility, I guess you could say, of creating the modular walls and stuff for this. So you're in a controlled environment, so labor is not slowed down, costs are reduced tremendously, timetables are reduced tremendously. That's what you're telling me, right? Or
Correct. And
off
without
track.
getting
I
too
can't remember.
right, and without getting too geeky about it, because it's an island, it has limited manpower, trade skills, and things like that. So we're going to
Right.
be able to support the local economy, hire a lot of the local skills, but also be bringing in some expertise from other disciplines. They're going to come in, augment that, and once again, we're shortening the timetable, increasing the quality, which is going to reduce the cost and get the clients to profitability that much quicker. That's, if we're not in the business of making a profit, even nonprofits have to make money. If you're the quicker you can get to making money to support your business, your goals, your altruism, the better off things are going to be. The longer things drag out, the more problems there are, the more logistical issues, the more cultural conflict. That's how deals get, I believe that's how deals get lost. So we work really hard, and we've been listening to a lot of you when you talk about the challenges you have, so that we can kind of pick up on this and see if we can build in solutions for you that are going to help your clients, your developers, if you're the one, so that, shorten up those timetables to get you to the profitability.
All right. Thank you, Chuck. Questions? Comments? Thoughts? Well, that was easy. Next. I'll get to call on you. Ooh, it's gonna be fun. Nelson, did you tell me that you and your wife are being a domestic team?
No, but I'm having a conversation with Sean after this meeting, with my ESG impacts partner in Maryland. He's got a brokerage team from SVN. We're trying to pull that together and create a team that can also be recruiting other people who want to take advantage of tools, technologies, and strategies to mitigate and value add properties from a standpoint of sustainable improvements and that sort of thing.
Awesome. Yeah, that was one of the points. That's one of the arguments about our tech stack exponentially growing pretty quick. We start dealing with a lot of the big players. First of all, they can't wrap their hands around the idea of being virtual. Leaving what they're used to most of their life, and they want to come into a virtual world to do commercial real estate. That's the first thing that kind of throws them off a little bit. Second thing that throws them off is if they were the broker or the franchisee or the whatever, the owners, just the idea that financially they will benefit even more once they start utilizing this platform over the next 2-3 years. They'll see that they're way ahead of the game compared to where they were, because they actually get to keep their money too. It's not a matter of I get to pay out everything to the world just to make my people happy. I get to keep money too, because my people are going to be happy because they're going to get to keep more money than they did when they were with me. All that's happening, but they're used to certain technologies, as we know, when it comes to research, especially in the big MSAs. I used to call in telecom, we used to call them NFL cities. Wherever there's an NFL team, there's a pretty good population. And we call those MSAs as opposed to RSAs, which are rural statistical areas. So RSAs cover a lot of the tertiary markets down to tertiary level 7. So like 3 to 7 is RSA. Tier 2s, tier 1s, they're usually MSAs. Well, I guess tier 3s are MSAs as well. Million population type thing. Okay. Did I leave anybody behind there? We good? Everybody followed, tracked? So that's huge. We've got major growth coming down the pipe. We've been floundering in the 700s this whole, a year and a half, 2 years now, number of advisors in our company. I could see this time next year, we could be twice this easily, if not 3 times, based on some of these brokerages that Sean's talking about. He doesn't tell you they are. It just tells you the numbers that are being generated. So
I think a big difference, or at least as I understand it, Sean's targeting teams that are already established and doing business and just trying to show them a better way to make more money with what they're doing instead of trying to recruit new people to do commercial real estate. So
that's right.
it's really a tough recruit. Like, and people are interested till they see how hard it is or how long it takes.
That's right.
And then it just takes a lot of grit to do it.
Yeah, I mean, you're 100% right on that, Nelson. Those are the people that basically all they need is somebody that is going to show them the difference between what position they are and what the potential is when they come into join EXP, and the support, back house support that back office rather support that they need, the company is going to provide them with that support and basically make it easier for them, as it is too much of a work and kind of figuring out the concept when somebody's a brand new and we
Yep.
get him out of, say, residential, bring him to commercial. First of all, they are new to the commercial. Second of all, they are not used to virtual platforms and all that. Whereas those people who are productive and they have few people that they're going to come in with them, they're already done and they know what commercial real estate is, and they've been practicing, semi-virtual atmosphere
Right.
that they can work in, and all they need is somebody to help them with those platforms.
Yeah. I forgot to mention
Yeah.
that. You're right. The back office is critical. Yeah, there's going to be back office support for groups of people. So, and if any of you decide you want to start a group and start that's another word for team, but in commercial it's a group, then there will be back office support assigned to you as your group grows and stuff. So that's another beautiful thing as well as we're growing. All right, that's what we talked about. Look, I want to take advantage of Eric Clark. He just popped in. He has no idea what we talked about earlier. But if you want to give your takeaway or your input from what happened at the IRLs on Friday in Nashville, go for it. If we, whatever you say, it's the first time we heard it from you, so we're good.
Did the group hear from you what Tom Crumpton had to say?
No, nobody knows any of this. If you want to read that, go for it.
I do.
Yeah. Hey, you'll like this. So wait, let's tell you, Tom Crumpton is a new person that Eric brought in to EXP Commercial less than a month ago. And he's in business brokerage, guys. He's already signed up. He's a mentor for business brokerage. He's in the Atlanta area. He's been in our business since 1978. You all met him on this is Monday Zoom last week, or at least on the recording if you weren't here. So go for it, Eric.
Keep talking. I'm trying to find it.
Oh, so he came up to Nashville. He's asking questions now. Okay, I'm getting connected. What all do I need to be doing? And of course, you all know me. The first thing I say is everybody needs to know who you are. It doesn't matter who you know. It's about who knows you. You've got to get to everything EXP Commercial is doing. And one of the biggest things that EXP, well, it's really not EXP Commercial. It's us here in EXP Commercial in this part of the country. We have our IRL. So you've got to come to the IRL and you've got to come to EXP Con. That's about all I said. So he came. Go ahead, Eric.
Yeah, I apologize for not getting my fingers on it quick enough.
It's an email
It is, but and I'm not
from this morning.
I don't do well when I'm put on the spot and try to find something.
There you go. That's what I keep telling him.
That you don't do well, Eric?
No,
You want to summarize it, Deb?
No, I don't want to summarize it. It was too good to
Okay.
read. You all go on and I'll jump in a moment, please. I apologize.
Okay, anybody else? Anything you want us to talk about? Need some help with anything? Comments? Rich, you want to give us a little sample of what we might talk about November 14th? Or you want to hold off on that?
If it's okay with you, I'm going to hold off. I'm going to keep it a big surprise.
That's right, baby. There's gonna be a lot of surprises.
You're going to need to come to Atlanta to hear it, Keith.
Huh?
You're going to need to come to Atlanta to hear it.
Hey, you popping into DXPCon?
No, this is Keith's IRL in Atlanta in November.
You're not gonna make it into Miami? You,
I'm
Mr.
good.
Rich?
Miami is not on my radar right now.
Okay, that's okay. No problem. Okay, Eric, you find it?
I did. So this was sent to Keith and I following the event Friday. Tom Crumpton, I did my first transaction with Tom. He was representing the seller. I was representing the buyer, and it took us 2 years to work this deal. It was only around $1 million, but it also involved a county economic development authority who was a third party to the deal, so it was complicated. So I have a lot of respect for Tom, but he can be a little rough. Anyway, this was the email he sends to us. He says, "Gentlemen, first of all, thank you for suggesting that I attend Nashville. Second, shame on you both for not insisting, demanding, forcing me to attend. That is how informative and helpful this was. Really, do not undersell these meetings. Incidentally, subtlety is not my strong point. I went there being new to EXP, as Eric had told me, and as I told Eric, my mindset is I'm in, but now I am all the explicit in. I went there with the mindset of a first revenue stream will be my commissions, and second will be my referrals, mentoring, unknown. And if I accidentally bump into somebody unhappy where they are, lastly, downline money through revenue share. I'm now going to do the following. Bring commercial experts into my EXP commercial immediately. My credentials will allow me to help others with CRE too. Make a concentrated plan to recruit agents and brokers to become agents within our group. Before Nashville, that was not on my mind. I'm going to bring in my assistant who has a license and put her in my downline immediately. That will help her now down the road, and that will also help with retention of other people that we try to hire and possibly provide insurance. I did not know that insurance was available. He did know, but he just didn't hear it. He says,
Health insurance, yes.
Yeah, he says, please send me the timelines to October for other events that we're doing. He said, had I known everybody was staying in Nashville on Friday night, I would have stayed to socialize. And he just kind of continues to go on. But it's really a great thing. This is a guy who had served on the Georgia Real Estate Commission board for writing all the GAR forms. He's worked with a couple billion-dollar companies. He's very seasoned. He's 35 years in the business. And
No. He started in 78. He was almost at 50 years in the business, Eric.
Okay. All right. I don't want to. No, it can't be 50 because he's my age. He's only 59. So
he started when he was a kid.
Well,
78 is when he started.
Anyways, great email. We're going to make a flyer. We're going to
65.
I got Tom Truong and copied Keith, of course, but we're going to make a flyer out of that. It's really, really cool. So I just want to share that with you.
So what's your takeaway from Friday?
My takeaway? I've spent the morning talking to Melissa. What was Melissa's last name?
Jackson. Yeah, we
Jackson.
did.
Yeah, she was there representing retail markets, and she's got a platform that she put together for Colliers and JLL of how to go after national accounts. So I'm pretty excited about that, and I'm going to plug into some training that she's got. So looking forward to that. Rich, I see that you're going to be coming to our November 14th meeting here in Atlanta. So look forward to meeting you, sir.
Yep, he'll be one of our key speakers.
Excuse you.
Okay. If there's anything else you want the rest of the world to know, I'm going to go ahead and turn off the recording. Okay. You guys good? And listen, so as a reminder, EXPCon is what, 6 weeks away? Something like that. You need to go. I mean, it's not just our IRLs that are huge. If you're commercial or realty and you're watching this, you got to get the EXPCon. It would change your life. It will change your life. It changed Max's life. He understands what this is all about now. It gave me, oh, Rich, hands up. I'll stop talking. You want on the recording, Rich? You good?
No, I'm not
Off
recording.
recording? What? You may turn off record. Okay, hang on.